What's up, dude? I said I would do member shoutouts at the end of every video, but for the first few, I want to do them at the start to really show my appreciation. Right now, there is one. His name is HTL, and I want to thank him for becoming the first goober ever. You, my good sir, will be in the history books forever, and you're helping the channel greatly. Thank you so much, and if any of you would like to join him, you can click the join button, or you can click the link that I put in the description or the comments. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, for this recap, I'm going to focus on storylines, starting off with the rookie sensation Jared McCain. The 2024 draft class has repeatedly been called one of the weakest in NBA history, but Jared is making sure it's not the worst ever. From November 13th to the 27th, the Goober got his chance to start for the struggling 76ers. He played 7 games as a starter, and in those games, he averaged a very impressive 24 points, shooting nearly 40% from 3 to go along with 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal. The 6'3" guard is only 19, but was playing with the composure and IQ of a seasoned vet. This might sound dumb, but I think that's partially thanks to his TikTok dances and painted nails. The dude doesn't give one single fuck about what people think. He posts tons of videos where he's channeling his feminine side, singing some song, dancing or something, then he gets thousands of hate comments, but he hasn't stopped because of them. The dude has a nutsack the size of a watermelon. A large majority of people would fold under that type of pressure, but he's confident in who he is, unwilling to change to make others happy. I believe that confidence paired with his knowledge of the game and skill has made him shine brighter than all the other rookies. In terms of play style, he's pretty unique, kinda reminds me of a mix of a couple great point guards. Like Steph, for instance. Similarly to him, McCain moves really well off the ball, which creates a ton of three-point opportunities. Many point guards are great at scoring in a pick and roll or a 1v1, but there aren't a lot that hustle to get a shot without it in their hands. He doesn't wait for the game to come to him. He creates opportunities through constant motion, running around screens and keeping defenders on edge. It's the kind of hustle you can't teach. In the 7 games he started, the dude chucked up close to 10 threes a night, connecting on 38% of them. That's amazing efficiency on such a high volume of shots, especially for a teenager. Along with resembling Curry, he also reminds me a bit of 3 other guards: Jeremy Lin, Jalen Brunson, and Kyle Lowry. McCain is faster than a fart in a fan factory with a tight handle, tough finishing abilities, and a very strong lower body. He frequently leaves defenders in the dust, slashing inside for layups on the regular. So far through 20 games, he's shooting nearly 65% at the rim. That's on just 51 attempts, so it's a pretty small sample size, but it's very promising. As of November 30th, when Philly played Detroit, aka Paul George's return, Jared got banished back to the bench. I'm not an NBA coach, but how about they keep him in the starting lineup and bench Kelly Oubre? His fine ass is shooting like 25% from 3. Meanwhile, Jared looks like the only 76er who actually gives a shit. Their season is basically over already, so if that doesn't translate to wins, who cares? They already suck. Embiid's career is now on the decline. They should be trying to develop for the future. Right now, Philly is one of the worst teams in the East. It's impressive how bad a team has to be one of the worst teams in the East. Outside of Cleveland, Boston, and now I guess Atlanta because they beat both of them, the East is a bunch of cupcakes. Meanwhile, out West, things are much different. Basically, every team is good besides the Pelicans and Jazz. It's absolute cinema out there. Literally though, when the Lakers and Spurs played, Wemby posted up LeBron and effortlessly blew by him and scored. It was some symbolism type shit, like the passing of the torch. Of course, LeBron is still great, but his time is nearing an end. He's made 1 out of his last 33s, and the Lakers are mid. The NBA's entering a new era led by the alien. In just Wemby's second year, the 7-5 baguette has the Spurs back to being an above 500 team. The future is looking very bright yet again for them. On the flip side, a Western Conference team that's performing far below expectations is none other than the Minnesota Timberwolves. After making it to the Western Conference Finals last year, those goobers traded Cat out of nowhere. In return, they got Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle. Dante is playing like crap and Julius can barely hit a 3. Meanwhile, Cat is having a career year offensively in New York, averaging 25 and 13, shooting 45% from 3. The effect this trade has had on Minnesota is devastating. They currently sit around 500 near the bottom of the West.
After all that,
Ant-Man is so fed up he called himself and his teammates soft as hell, like a baby. Kinda crazy how they only added 2 new players and they're having all these problems. Since it's dysfunction junction over there, Ant-Man should just come to Atlanta. After all, he grew up here, went to UGA, and the Hawks got something brewing. They just beat Cleveland twice and they also beat Boston. Plus, Dyson will guard all the best players and Trey will give Ant the ball as much as he wants. It's a perfect situation. I know it's not likely, but let a man dream. Anywho, moving on, a clip I saw on Instagram that I thought was funny was Lonzo calling Liangelo out on their podcast.
What if I could just get to the G though?
I feel like the opportunity not going to be the same in the G League for him. Just because of his process and how long it's been, just being realistic.
Feel like
I'm his big brother. I got to, tell him the truth.
I like how he just brushes off Europe when Lonzo's right. I think it's crazy the dude is 26 yet still refusing to play overseas. I'm sorry, but besides the Harlem Globetrotters, overseas is his only chance at making a career playing basketball. G League teams don't want an egotistical 6'4" shot chucker who doesn't play defense. Only thing he's good at stealing is Louis Vuitton bags. If you really wanted to be in the league, he would be. Dude just doesn't want it bad enough. The guy is 6'5" with a 6'9" wingspan. He played for arguably the greatest high school team ever, and he's super rich with 2 brothers in the league. God threw him a perfect lob, but because he grew up having everything handed to him on a silver platter, as well as being treated like he was just as good as his brothers, I guess he never learned how to handle things on his own. Just unfortunate. Meanwhile, his baby brother LaMelo is currently putting up over 30 points per game, and there's speculation Lonzo may team up with him. Liangelo's Squidward in his house watching SpongeBob and Patrick frolic around outside. Speaking of frolicking, since starting the season playing like trash, Milwaukee's picked it up quite a bit lately. They've won a ton of games, improving their record from 1-6 all the way up to 11-10. With their superstar talent, that's still pretty embarrassing, but I mean, the guy who won a ring in 2008 and the ham sandwich are coaching, so what are you gonna do? Winning with Tweedledee and Tweedledum is a damn near insurmountable feat, but they somehow have managed to find a way. Salute to Ham. He probably blessed them with the ancient knowledge of contesting without fouling and the art of going hard on them dudes. Their improvement can be accredited to a few things, but most notably ball movement, solid defense, 3-point shooting, and freak time playing much better. During this win streak, Giannis has averaged 33 points, 10 boards, and 8 assists, while Lillard's putting up an efficient 26 and 9. That's what I've been expecting from them this whole time. I remember when Lillard joined the Bucks, I thought it was going to be like Kobe and Shaq 2.0. So far, it has not been like that at all, but maybe this could be where things head in that direction. It's not the playoffs, but they led the Bucks to 4-0 in the NBA Cup, clinching a spot in the quarterfinals. They're matched up with Orlando, who without Paolo have been great thanks to the jack-of-all-trades Franz Wagner, but the game is in Milwaukee, and as I'm recording this, in away games Orlando is 6-8 compared to their 9-0 home record. I'm confident defensive savant Jalen Suggs can clamp Lillard, and it'll be a good game, but I think Milwaukee's gonna take it. The other East quarterfinal game is a juicy one, Knicks vs Hawks. The Knicks, fresh off their Group A win, are riding high on Jalen Brunson, running the offense like a well-oiled machine, and Karl Anthony Towns, who despite being a horrible rim protector, is stunning on these hoes. On the other side, after an injury-riddled start, Atlanta's healthy and clicking. My lord and savior DeAndre Hunter has returned along with Bogey, and since then the Hawks have cooked, beating the fraudulent 19-3 Cavs twice and ending the Bucks' 7-game win streak. Trace turned into an inefficient John Stockton this season, which is chill as long as they win, but I need him to play like he did in those 2021 playoffs. The good news is the Hawks-Knicks game is in MSG, so there's a good chance that happens. He lives rent-free in 8 million heads over there. Every time he steps on that floor, the boos hit harder than Miles Bridges, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jackson Hayes when they see their girlfriend. MSG might as well roll out a red carpet for Trey. The more they boo, the better he plays. It's like his pre-workout. If Trey does his thing and the Hawks role players step up, we could see him being re-elected for mayor of New York. While things in the East are looking spicy, they are out West too. Golden State plays Houston and the Thunder play the Mavs. Houston dominated their group stage with blowout wins against the Clippers and Blazers. Thanks to Jabari Smith's best performance of the year, Şengün's transformation into Jokic, and a surprising offensive outburst from Dylan the Villain. Even in their lone cup loss to the Kings, Jalen dropped 28 points. The Warriors, who started the season as hot as that ring girl from the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight, have cooled off since, but Steph brings championship experience. They're no easy win. It's Houston's momentum versus Golden State's pedigree. On the other side, OKC faces Dallas. The Mavericks snuck in after beating Memphis and recently edging out OKC 121-119 without Luka. With Luka back and PJ Washington shining in these matchups, Dallas could cause trouble, but the Thunder's depth and Shea's superstar play make them tough to beat. Both games feel pretty unpredictable, setting the stage for some drama. Last recap, I talked about a bunch of things, including De'Aaron Fox's transformation into Kobe. You can click here to watch it. In the next video, I'll be going over all the news stories that come up in the next couple weeks, so subscribe if you want to stay updated. Thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed. Bye, dude.